Iyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasam Gati Bodhi Swaha Tyata Om Gati Paragati Parasangati Bodhi Swaha Tyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasangati Bodhi Swaha. Okay, from what we did of the four seals. Four seals? By the way, what are the four seals? All composite things seem permanent. All contaminated things are suffering nature. Everything is the nature of emptiness and selflessness. Transcending sorrow is absolute peace. Okay, what are the four seals? All composite things seem permanent. All contaminated things are of suffering nature. Everything is of the nature of emptiness and selflessness, or all phenomena is the nature of emptiness and selflessness. Transcending sorrow is absolute peace. Four. Okay. So from this, what we've learned is that, say, connecting link number, the seal number 3 and seal number 2 and 3. Seal number 2 says that all contaminated things are of suffering nature. As long as we have the contamination inside, self-grasping, ignorance, self-centered energy inside, then these will give rise to the afflictions. Afflictions will give rise to contaminated karmas. Contaminated karmas will give rise to the suffering. Right? Okay, this is extremely important. So we don't just take things blindly, accept things blindly. We don't do that. What's important is to know how things are actually happening. Let's say, let me give an example of, say, the dream. In the dream, let's say that I show you, right? I show you, say, one mobile, and then, okay, tell me, this is a dream mobile actually. In the dream, I'm showing you mobile as a dream mobile, and you see it as a real mobile, right? Dream mobile to be real mobile. Is this valid mind or non-valid mind? Not valid mind. Is this ignorance? So this ignorance, then with this ignorance, you see that as a real mobile, and then you look at it very clearly, carefully, and you see it as iPhone X. iPhone X. Very expensive iPhone, right? Very expensive iPhone. This is valid mind or inappropriate thinking? Inappropriate thinking. This is known as inappropriate attention. When you see this iPhone X Plus, Geshe does not require iPhone X. So my iPhone, the simple one, what is the, let's say, 500 shekels? It's good or bad? 500 shekel mobile. Bad one. So mine one is 500 shekel mobile. Geshe is so kind, he will exchange it. Geshe, so can we exchange our mobiles? Then the Tamil is saying this to me. Then meanwhile, Shwa says, no, I said it before. Right? Then, okay, then two of you, let's say you meaning each one of us. Each one of you are the one who said that, I said it. And then two of you will have a fist fight. With the fist fight, we'll both go into the prison. Prison is not a good place to stay. Don't forget it. Okay, how it started. First you come in contact with the dream mobile. And you see this dream mobile as a real mobile. First problem. Not only you see this as a real mobile, you see this as an iPhone X Plus, very expensive one, number 2. Because of this, attachment grows. Number 3. Alongside attachment, anger grows to your competitor. So attachment, anger, afflictions. Number 3. With affliction, then you try to compete fist fight, karma. Karma means fist fight. Karma means, say, action, physical, verbal, and mental actions. Karma. With the karma, then you end up in prison, which is samsara. Samsara is not good place, this is samsara. So 5 stages. 5 stages. Okay. Is there anyone who saw this in this book? If you turn to page 217 of this book, page 217. Page 217. Now tell me, page 217. I indicated 5 points, right? First one is the ignorance. Second one is the inappropriate attention, which means I have found X, inappropriate attention, number 2. Then number 3 is affliction, attachment, and anger, which is affliction, number 3. With this affliction, attachment, anger, then fist fight, karma, number 4. With the fist fight, karma, then you go into the prison, which is samsara, number 5. Okay, tell me, what are the 5 points? Ignorance, inappropriate attention, afflictions, karma, contaminant karmas, and samsara. 5 points. Don't forget it. 5 points. Now, if you don't want to be in samsara, point number 5, if you don't want to be in samsara, what should you do? You should get rid of the contaminant karmas. Because contaminant karmas are the immediate cause of the samsara. If you don't want the contaminant karmas, what should you do? You should cut the afflictions, attachment, anger, right? Jealousy, competitiveness, and so forth. If you don't want afflictions, you have to cut the inappropriate attention, which exaggerates that this mobile is iPhone X, which exaggerates the quality of the object. Inappropriate attention. If you don't want the inappropriate attention, you should cut the ignorance, seeing the dream mobile as a real mobile. You have to cut the ignorance. You getting it? Okay. So if you don't want suffering altogether, you have to cut the final cause. What is the final cause? Ignorance. You have to cut the ignorance, right? Okay, how to cut this ignorance? Ignorance which sees the dream mobile as a real mobile. How should you cut this ignorance?
Say the truth.
Huh?
See things that they really are.
No. Did you understand what I'm saying? I said, listen, you're not listening to me, right? You're just listening 50% and 50% you take for granted, right? What I'm saying is that if all this problem is because of you seeing the dream mobile as real mobile, this is ignorance. How to get rid of this ignorance which sees the dream mobile as a real mobile? Wake up. Thank you, Shosh. Why did you not give the answer before? Why did you let others give the answer? What did you say?
True.
You have to see the truth. Then you have to see the reality, right? Wake up. Very direct. You should look at what Shosh said. Very direct. Wake up, right? Wake up from the sleep. And then you realize that it was just my dream mobile. It's not a mobile in the first place, right? So when you say it's not a mobile, then you will not exaggerate it as mobile iPhone X. If you don't exaggerate it's a very expensive mobile, then you will not have attachment to this. Then even if somebody says, I want it, you take it. There's no anger. So without the anger and attachment, you will not fight. Without the fight, you will not be in prison. You getting it? So this is how waking up will stop all the stream, all the flow, the wave of the train of the causes towards miseries. This will all stop. So to wake up. Okay, next question. How to wake up? Okay, tell me. What's the difference between what is the root cause of you in the dream going through suffering and why your suffering ends when you wake up? What's the difference? Tell me.
You see what's true and what's not true.
Yes, you see what's true, what's not true. Somebody wants to make it clearer?
When you wake up, you're suffering, you say? Because
when you wake up, the suffering stops. In the dream, you had the suffering. So, why?
Because in the dream, it seems real and I believe it.
You, in the dream, you see it as real. Right?
And
what is actually dream? As real. When you wake up, you realize it's just coming from my mind. It's a dream. You getting it? Okay. So the difference is in the perception. In the dream, you see the dream as real. You see. See means you perceive. Perception. you see the dream mobile as a real mobile. That perception is responsible for creating all the problems. When you wake up, you see means you perceive. You perceive the dream mobile as dream mobile. Dream mobile as empty of being real mobile. Right? That perception. So with the change in the perception, right, effect is different. With the mistaken perception, miseries befall, miseries stop, miseries arise. With this perception change, when you wake up, perception, whose apprehension of object tallies with reality, who sees reality, this perception stops the miseries and suffering of the dream. Okay, so change the perception. So finally we see that happiness, not happiness, all these things are finally determined by the perceptions. What kind of perception do you have? So tell me, which of two perceptions is valid? Seeing the perception of the dream mobile as the real mobile, and the perception dream mobile as empty of being real mobile. Which perception is valid? Second one is valid. First one is ignorance, invalid. You're getting it? Okay. With the shift in the perception, whole your well-being can be changed.
Yeah.
You're right? Okay, with this, now how to change the perception? Right? So, people here in the Kippus Bodhicitta, right? People here now, because of meditation, the world will not change. The traffic in Israel, right? Whatever is happening with the neighboring countries, what is happening will keep continuing like this. But what's the benefit of changing your perception? Right? The first benefit is that your mental agitation will stop. All your mental agitation, fear, anguish, so forth will stop. Okay, how? How? This is the point. For this matter, what you have to learn is the two different perceptions, right? Two different perceptions. Okay, so for this, we need to introduce what is known as, the ultimate analysis and the conventional analysis. Ultimate analysis and conventional analysis. Okay, this is extremely important. Okay, ultimate reality, they all mean the same. Right? Ultimate reality, they all mean the same. Ultimate analysis and conventional analysis. Okay. What is ultimate analysis? What is conventional analysis? Okay, let's say that let's say that in Israel, if you drive, where should we drive? Right lane or left lane?
Right.
You have to drive on the right lane. If you drive on the left lane, then what's the problem? Huh?
Accident, yeah.
If there's no car there, then no problem.
No cars.
You have to pay. Police will arrest you. No?
No, it's called.
You'll be fined.
No.
You'll be fined.
No.
You will not be fined.
Fine, yeah, you're not fine.
They will take the car, the license, everything.
No.
Yes, you have problem with the license, all this is right. You have to pay fine.
And they take the car for
Yes. Okay, all these problems are there. Now, why? Why is it that if you drive on the left lane, your license will be confiscated or you have to pay fine? Why? Why? Huh? Rules. You know, who made the rules?
the society.
The road made the rules, or the road is the object, right? And your mind is the subject. Road made the rules, or the people's mind made the rule? People's mind made the rules. People's mind is object or subject? Subject. So the rule is subjectively real. It's not objectively real. Road will not tell you that you're on the wrong track. Right? People's mind, who made the rules, they tell you that you're on the wrong track. You're on the wrong lane. So people's mind. So rule is subjectively real. It's not objectively real. You getting it? Okay. Say 500 years ago, if you have a car, I don't know, if Israel had a car 500 years ago, any idea when the car first came to Israel?
24.
1924. Let's say 1924. 1924, how many years ago?
90 years.
90.
Huh?
Almost
90.
90 years ago. Let's say precisely 89 years ago, let's say 89 years ago, there may be 5, 6, 7 cars. You can drive any lane you like. You agree with me?
Yes.
You drive left lane, right lane, nobody complains. You don't have to pay fine. Right? Then why suddenly you have to follow the lanes at a certain point? Slowly the traffic jam happened. Then the government has to take it very seriously. Okay, now henceforth, right? Cars are made to make the living more easy. Now it becomes more difficult. That even the ambulance cannot go to the hospital on time because they get trapped in the traffic. So we have to make rules. So for that, then the government recruited the experts, recruited more, the sophisticated thinkers. And then what should we do? Tell us. Then they said we have to make the lane system. We always drive on the right lane, not on the left lane. If somebody drives on the left lane, penalty. Okay, so this is how the rules are created. So rules are created by your mind, human mind. The mind is subject. So therefore rule is subjective real, it's not objective real. One. Now, so that is known as convention. So we say it's convention. Convention means related to the subject, not related to the object. You're getting it? So conventional truth, subjective reality, they mean the same. Conventional truth, subjective reality, and dependent reality, dependent existent. Dependent because dependent on the rules, dependent on the subject. So with this, having understood this, what we learned is that conventional existence and ultimate existence. Conventional meaning something coming from the subject. Ultimate meaning something coming from the object. You're getting it? Okay. Now, let's say, this flower. Okay, by the way, what is this?
Geranium.
Huh?
Geranium.
Geranium flower. Geranium flower. This is flower, right? To make it simple, it's a flower. Okay. Okay, let's say that if Tamil has to teach emptiness, people will easily get lost. She said, this is geranium, right? And people get lost. What is geranium, right? So what is geranium? So much time will be wasted. Okay, so this is flower. Right? Okay, now let us see. Okay, we started by saying that change in the perception. Change in the perception changes your emotional reaction. You getting it? So the perception plays a very important role. You getting it? Okay. Before this, I may touch this area. What is known as the 5 omnipresent mental factors. 5 omnipresent. What's omnipresent in Hebrew?
נוכחים תמיד.
Logihim Tamil.
תמיד.
Tamikti. Tamid. Logamit Tamid.
נוכחים תמיד.
Logahim Tamid. Logahim Tamid. Okay. So what is Logahim Tamid?
5 omnipresent.
Omnipresent. Okay. 5 omnipresent mental factors, meaning that our mind, wherever there is our mind, there are 5 functions attached with the mind. There are 5 functions of the mind. On the basis of these 5 functions, we speak about the 5 mental factors. It's simply, you have to understand the 5 functions of the mind. What are the 5 functions of the mind? Say, you're very happy, right? You're very happy. Okay, today's your birthday. Suddenly you go out of your house and you see somebody so angry and shouting at you, right? First you think that, okay, this person must be having a fight with somebody else, right? So what happened? That inside you're very happy, your eyesight, your mind is meeting with only good people, happy, kind people. Suddenly you go out, your mind meets with the object, meets with a person, another person. And then what? So what is this person, right? So what do? First, your mind comes in contact. Okay, first the 5 omnipresent. Okay, first one, discrimination, feeling. Number 2, discrimination. Number 3, attention. Number 4, contact. Number 5, intention. Okay, discrimination, feeling, attention, contact, and intention. Discrimination, feeling first. Feeling, discrimination, attention, contact, and intention. Okay, now let us see how mind works. How a mind works on the basis of these 5 functions of the mind. How? So you're very happy inside, everybody is greeting you, everybody is talking so nicely to you, being kind to you. The moment you go out, right, finally you are happy, unhappy is all decided by your mind. You agree with me or not?
Yes.
All decided by your mind. Now the moment you go out, what happens? You see somebody moving, loud voice, physically so aggressive. You come, your mind, the window of your mind, the first one is in this case is the eyes and your ears. Let's say eyes. Your eye consciousness comes in contact with this object, the person comes in contact. The first one is contact. With the contact, then you pay attention, right? What is this? Right? Is he fighting with me or is he fighting with somebody else? You pay attention. Number 2 is pay attention. But when you pay attention, then you realize discrimination. Discrimination meaning you discern. Discrimination means you discern that actually this person is coming to fight with me. You discern this. Okay, this is discrimination. With this, then what happens? Very unpleasant feeling is retrieved within you. Unpleasant feeling is retrieved within you. Okay. With this unpleasant feeling, then what comes? You intention to run away from this person. Intention to either fight with the person or intention to run away from the person comes to you. Okay, the 5 points. You getting it? Okay, so in terms of order is different. So this order, I'm explaining this for us to understand it easily. It doesn't matter. So order-wise, although it is the order which I give you, right? Feeling, discrimination, attention, contact, intention, this order. But in terms of your easier understanding, if you understand in this order, contact first, you pay attention, then you discriminate, then the feeling, then the intention. If you understand this way, it will become very sensible. It will make total sense to us. First, your mind comes in contact with the object. First is contact. With the contact, then what happens? You pay attention to what is it? Okay. That is actually what happens. It happens oftentimes. It's pretty easy. Imagine that you fall asleep. And then say your mother, right, wakes you up, and then you are sucked up in this sleep. You are just like intoxicated by the sleep, right? Did it happen to you particularly when you were a child, right? And then in the sleep you get the mother say, hey, no, you have to eat food. Then half in the sleep, half you eat. You're getting it? So imagine that is the case. And the mother shows you something. So that object comes in contact with your eyes. And then your mother says, this is your favorite cake. This is favorite cake, right? Favorite cake. And you pay attention, whether it's a cake or not. Whether your mother is trying to play together with you, or actually it's a cake. We pay attention. We pay attention. Yes, it is cake. Cheesecake? This is discrimination. With discrimination, what happens? Very pleasant feeling comes in you. With a pleasant feeling, then what happens? I want it. The intention to have it. You're getting it? These 5 things are happening to every moment of your mind. Every moment of your mind, these 5 things are happening. Okay. From this, what we come to know is What? Your action, I want to have it. This action is because of which mental factor? Which of the 5? Intention. What made you go for this intention? I want to have it. What made you have this? Because of the feeling. What made you have this feeling? Because of discrimination that this is a cheesecake. You're getting it? So the feelings decide all your intentions. Feelings decide all your intention. All your actions are determined by the feelings. All your actions are determined by the feelings. And the feelings are decided by the discrimination. You're getting it? Discrimination. Discrimination is the subject or of the object? Subject. Yeah? How you see. Say, if you're so fond of flower, and if you just like say you're so fond of flowers, but you dislike say the you
Dove, let's say.
Garlic. Okay, let's say you just like garlic and you like the flowers so much, right? Okay, you like flowers so much, you just like garlic terribly. So I show you this, and you saw this as a garlic colored with red. Garlic, red colored. Garlic with the red paint. You saw this garlic with red paint. Do you like it? No. Actually, it's not a garlic with the red paint, it's a flower. You like flowers so much, and you become angry. You become very agitated. What made you feel agitated? Because of your perception. Wrong perception or good perception? Wrong perception. You're getting it? Wrong perception. So the perception. Now if I bring a real garlic, and you see it's a flower, you're so happy. You're getting it? So the point is, and I show you real garlic and you see it's a garlic, you become unhappy. Again, it's because of perception. You getting it? Okay. So the perception plays a very perception related to the discrimination that decides the feeling inside you. Now tell me, what am I doing? If you don't know what am I doing, you can ask Tamila, because Tamila is the one who brought this, right? Okay, what am I doing? Drinking what?
Water.
Huh? You asked Tamila. She said water. So tell me, what am I doing?
Drinking water.
Okay. You say that I'm drinking water, and the chemist will say that I'm drinking H2O. And the physicist will say that I'm drinking electrons, protons, neutrons. You agree with me or not?
Yes.
Okay. Which of the 3 statements is correct?
All.
All of them are correct. Yet, if I see this as I'm drinking cold water, perception. Yet they are same perception, different perception. One H2 water, right? Water. One H2, 2 hydrogen, 1 oxygen, right? And 1 electrons, protons, neutrons. They are different perceptions or same perception?
Different.
Different perception. Very good. Okay, tell me. Water, H2O, right? And the electrons, protons, neutrons, which constitute the water. These 3 things, are these 3 things entity-wise one or different? Hey. Say, hey, group A, 1, 2, 3, 4. Group B, 1, 2, 3, 4. Group C, 1, 2, 3, right? Group A, you see this water. Group B, you see as H2O. Group B, you see as H2O. Group C, you see as electrons, protons, neutrons. Okay, Group A, what is this? Water. Group B, what is this? H2O. Group C, what is this? Electrons, protons, neutrons. Okay, tell me. You're getting it? These 3 things, water, H2O, electrons, protons, neutrons, which constitute the water, these 3 things, are they entity-wise one or different?
Entity one.
Huh?
One.
Entity was one.
Yes.
After learning all these things.
It's